Good morning. Hello and welcome. Part of me dislikes this shirt. Part of me dislikes that the window is open. But just a part of me, is it? A part of me also didn't want to get out of bed today. And a part of me was thinking of all these grand things he could, like, boom, thrust his energy into. And a part of me really just wanted to stay in bed the whole day. But then the part of me that remembered, like, it didn't say it with words. But when I was laying in bed, I was like, I felt depleted. I felt like, whoa. And then I was thinking of all these difficult things I had to do, and thought, how can this be? Why do I feel so weak today? When I was feeling on the inside, I was closing my eyes. I didn't try to sleep again. I was just feeling what I was feeling. And sometimes it's just too much. Sometimes we feel so much that we feel like we feel nothing. And then you're kind of, that can be a depression, to feel too much. And all these decisions are so draining. Do I check Facebook first? WhatsApp? It's a hard decision. I can give you a solution to that. Delete both of them and never check them again. And keep your messaging activity at a minimum. Rather meet real people on the streets that live in your area. Leave it up to fate to decide who you're going to meet. That's how I do it. I usually don't make appointments with anyone. If somebody says, oh, you can call me, I say, oh, well, you can call me too. But most of the time now I put my phone on flight mode. And I just leave the house, and I will leave it up to coincidence or fate or God or the universe to decide who I'm going to meet. And sometimes I feel like I want to meet somebody and then I don't meet anybody. But I have the feeling it's getting less because I spend my days more doing what I want, so it's not so bad if I don't meet people anymore. And that's a change that the last couple of weeks have brought about, where I really focused on just doing my work. And there is this famous sentence that was supposed to be seen on these concentration camps. It said, Arbeit macht frei. So, work frees you. And it's absolutely true. But something that doesn't free you is this kind of work that is enslaving. So being forced to work and giving that energy all to other people, that doesn't bring freedom, I believe. It just enslaves you. You always have to do more and more for somebody else, and your work will never truly get appreciated. So now that I choose basically the work and the jobs that I want to do, even when somebody would call me, I don't have to call them back. But I can see it as work, and not as the kind of work that I have to do this, but no, bam, okay, work, focus, this is a job, somebody contacted you, they need help. So, do your best. But that doesn't mean they call you and you give them what they want. Like that friend that called me from 2 years ago, who I told to leave me. So he called me, and then after, you know, we almost basically finished the call, and he said, yeah, can I call you back? Because here's somebody, and I want to tell him my condolences or something. And I said to him, and it even surprised me, I said, no. What do you mean? I said, when this call is over, it's over. Like, there will be no calling back, there will be no second call, I've said everything. And then he said, okay. Then I said, you didn't understand me last time, didn't you? And I said, you called me, do you get that? It was you who called me, I didn't call you, I don't need you in my life, you called me. Oh no, that's not true. I said, yes, it's true. You called me, I would have never called you. You called me, so, like, what the fuck do you want? You think we're gonna call every 2 days now because you feel shit? No. So maybe that's what some people should know if they get in touch with me. Like, I don't have time to play ball with you all the time. You know, I don't do things to help you pass the time. No, I give you homework. What I say in here should be homework. This is not entertainment. This is homework. I talk about stuff. You can feel it, yes or no. If you can't feel it, then, you know, get to work. If you want to learn from me, you have to probably buy my books. Because since you think I have something to teach you, then you have to work with the stuff that I've created. And of course that helps me too. But if you think you can get everything just by listening to this and feeling like, oh, it's so nice to watch him because he's so relaxed, then I say, fuck off. Leave this place. This is not the place for you. This is not something to entertain you. This is something to help you to find happiness in your life. So I'm honestly saying to you, fuck off, unless you want to put in the work. If you want to put in hard work to become the person that you truly want to be and that is somewhere hidden inside of you. And if you want that, you may contact me. Through my website, there's a contact form, you fill that out. You just tell me roughly who you are, something about yourself, which you find worth sharing, and I urge you to be honest about the things that you say, and don't try to portray you as somebody you are not, because I'm gonna see right through this. Like, I've been trained with that kind of shit. Like, you try to trick me, I'm gonna give you fucking hell for it, and you're not gonna like it very much. Like, I don't put my words into pillows. If you contact me, and I feel there's something you need to hear, then I'm gonna say it. And I'm gonna say it in a way that you're gonna hear it. And then I'm probably just gonna end the call. You know, you don't know that. Like, I'm a fucking lunatic, so what do you want from me? Like, what do you expect? That's just what you're gonna get. And see, I didn't plan this, so I don't know how I react to people. But if people come to me and they act like the victim, well, I can very much turn that around and show you that you're not the victim. You're probably the opposite. You just realize that by playing the victim, people start pitying you. And then they don't realize what you're doing anymore, how you're sucking their energy. Because that's what you're really doing. You're just leeching off of people by playing the victim. And that's what a lot of Germans do. Oh, poor us. You know, we have to feel ashamed because of what the Nazis did. I don't give a shit what the Nazis did. Because it's not I who did it. Nor did I ever make a decision to do such a thing. So I can say Arbeit macht frei because it does. It freed me. And working every day and putting in the effort, whether I feel like it or not, well, then I make sure that I will feel like it. That I do the things that help me to do what I want to do, which is work to get out of this shithole. That's just how it is. And of course, then you try to enjoy it as much as you can. Because you don't want to create this as another hell for yourself. Feeling like, oh, I have to do... No, I don't, you know. For all anybody cares, I could just waste away in this room. Nobody would give a shit. I mean, I've experienced it in Amsterdam. I would have landed on the streets, literally. Because I would have refused to take another job. I would have refused because I cannot work for this system anymore. And I would have ended on the streets. All my potential would have been wasted away because actually society doesn't give a shit. And the police showed it when they tried to arrest me for the sole reason of being trapped in a place. They would have just like, I mean, they didn't give a shit. They just realized, oh, he's not a criminal, so, you know, fuck off. They never asked me once how I'm doing. Never. They never asked me once if I'm doing okay. And that is a perfect example for what the system does. As long as you look physically okay, and you're not really a threat to others, they don't give a shit about you. You know, you might as well die, and then they're gonna patch you up just before maybe take your organs. So yeah, I just developed that kind of attitude and mentality where I say, fuck you. If you're trying to steal my time, well, I'm going to pick that up very quickly. And if you think, you know, you can call me once, and because it was so nice, you can keep calling me to run away from yourself, well, then I'm going to give you hell for it. And that's just truth then. And then I'm going to see whether you are the person you say you are or not. Because some people really, they act like they are somebody. But it's just words. To become the person you want to be takes a lot of work, a lot of effort. And I wouldn't sit here if I wouldn't have put in the work and the effort. And that's why, in terms of this kind of experience, I'm probably superior to you. And you won't like hearing this. You will probably think like, wow, what an asshole, who does he think he is? Well, I'm the guy who did it. I'm the guy who put in the work and who worked himself out of his bloody depression because he hated it and he wanted to experience life in a different way. So I'm the guy who figured out how to do it. And I'm also the guy who wrote the Book of Fear because he went through most of his fears, including the fear of being left by a woman. Well, it's somewhere still around, you know, but it's mainly gone. This was one of the reasons that caused most of my depression, I almost think. Somehow it started quite early in my life. And then I see the problem and I find a solution, which is get rid of all the women that take advantage of you, that just want you for sex, or because you have a beard, or because you would look nice in their collection. And then I just say, you know, fuck all of you. I don't give a shit. Like, you think you can play with me still? You think you can act nice but have all these bad thoughts? I hear your thoughts. I can see them. They're plain as day. And probably most people cannot, but I can. And I see all the shit you're trying to hide. So don't try this with me, because you're not gonna like it. It's going to be a roller coaster for you. And for me, it's just going to be another job that I do as best as I can, and then I'm gonna get rid of you. And that's just how it is. Because if you're clinging to me, you know, I don't have time for that. Because if I allow this to happen, you're probably gonna come to my place, and then if you're a woman, we're probably gonna have sex, and if you're a man, we'll end up fighting. So I'd rather throw you out, you know, before any of that happens. And then it's for you to decide if you want to work with what I gave you, or if you want to whine around and say, oh, why did he do that? Because he can. Because he has the freedom, and because he doesn't need you. Well, maybe he needed you to buy his books or something, you know, that's all you can do. Oh, he really says that. Yeah, he says that, and the thing is, a part of him means it. But the other part also just wants you to realize that nobody gives a shit in this world where you will end up. You know, your parents might act like it, but some people, including parents and sisters and brothers, they're sometimes happier if you are down at the bottom, because then they can feel good about standing on top of you. And that's just a lesson, you know, that needs to sink in. And at least I'm giving you a way to fight yourself out of this. But that also means you have to trick yourself a bit. And that's why my messages are usually quite hidden, because they're probably designed to hit you when you don't expect it. And that's just the way it is. Like I said, I didn't expect to make this video at all. I don't know why I'm doing it at all. I'm just sitting here talking. I don't know what that does to people, or if it even does anything. You know, sometimes just things happen in my life. For example, I have this tele lens, the zoom lens for my camera. I can't find it. It's just gone. And I just realized, you know, there's a reason why it's gone at the moment, because I'm not supposed to use it. Because then I would have that option, and sometimes it makes it more complicated. So sometimes if I'm missing things, I just accept the reality that at the moment it's gone. And it's probably for my best. I'm gonna just stop searching. Sometimes I wanted to leave the house in a hurry. And then suddenly the key was missing. And then I felt into myself, do I feel like searching now? Or do I feel like then just doing something else, just accepting that I'm not supposed to leave the house? So what did I do? Well, maybe I searched, but then in a calm way. Some people, they search and they get angry, like, where is it? Because they don't accept the reality that the key is missing. So they're trying to fight it. So just accept it, and then make searching your task. And then you search for the key, but you do so with love, and then it's actually quite nice. And you're probably going to find it quite quickly. Or you might find something else, because, you know, it wasn't actually the key you were looking for, but something else. So you do that, and you search, and maybe you'll find it then. Or maybe you don't, and then you just stay at home and see what happens. I had this once at work. It was really weird. Somebody gave me the key. I was staying with somebody in Maastricht, because I was living there for about a year. And there was a time where I didn't have an apartment anymore. Because the only reason I actually came there, I think, was to apply for a study permit. And I stayed with a friend that I met while working for Teleperformance, who was at the time a service provider for Apple. Only Apple didn't want the other people to know that. So they acted, yeah, it doesn't matter. But it's just, you know, it's just fishy, the whole Apple thing. Anyway, so I was working there. Actually, let's stretch this out a bit.